I think coaching the rugby, I mean, there's many things that I like to think I did well. There's many things at the time, looking back, I should have done them differently, or you kind of learn from those. I think a couple of things. One, I think it's important you manage. It's a very kind of a political position in many ways. How you manage upwards. You know, I was very keen. I had a chief executive called Francis Barron who was excellent with me. But I think his reason he's excellent with me because I really took him with me. I really made it to a fault, sitting down with him and the board and telling him exactly what I was doing. I wasn't asking for their permission. I was just making sure, because I knew I was ultimately accountable. But I really made sure they knew what was going on and spent a lot of time with them, just showing them what was going on. So I think I managed upwards quite well, which I was pleased about. And then the second thing was just the players. You know, I was extremely lucky. I had an amazing group of players, you know, from household names, Martin Johnson, Lawrence Dallaglio, Jason Leonard. What I was really, and I learned this from my business background, I met with them all one-on-one more than probably any other coach. Yes, we operate as a team, and you know, most of the pictures are always, you know, the huddle on the pitch or in the team room. So yes, you have a lot of team meetings, but to me, if you break that down, you've really got to get your key people on your page, and so they understand really what is going on. And you can see it in the meeting rooms. If we ended up speaking about something quite, you know, tasty or interesting, you know, you'd look to 3 or 4 players around the room, and if you got Johnson nodding and Dallaglio nodding and Leonard nodding, even I'm not going to argue with these 3. So you take them with them. You're not asking them for their blessing, but you just explain it to them. And again, I just felt that probably hadn't been done with a lot of rugby players like them, even them. You know, they were just used to being told what to do by the person in charge of their team. So I really kind of got close to those individuals, and I promise you, they're great players, but they're great men. You know, they weren't yes men. If they didn't agree with me, they would tell me. But we could have a real open conversation, and I would, you know, you listen to them. But normally I wouldn't change my mind either. But you just kind of bring them with you. So I think to be successful, you've got to bring your board with you, manage upwards, and you've got to manage downwards. But that sometimes it's not just team; it's really every individual you're trying to talk to or engage with. Football was no different than rugby. I loved my year in football. Certainly the academy at Southampton was amazing. It was, you know, when I was there, Gareth Bales was there, Theo Walcott were there, some amazing players. So you could see these young kids coming through about, you know, and what actually happened to them and why they became, you know, real superstars, which those 2, for example, did. But no real difference in what I'd seen in rugby. It was all about explaining to people why you wanted to do things, as opposed to just ploughing ahead and assuming people will want to do this just because you think it's the right thing.